Bonjour. Hello everyone. Welcome. I hope you're all doing well. So in this lesson we are going to practice with avoir expressions. We'll review a little bit and then practice. Be sure you've watched my other video on the present tense conjugation of avoir. You can find it on my channel homepage. Remember to also look on Just the French playlist for Just the French videos. And you'll find it there and all of my other videos in order, so you can start from the beginning and go to the most recent video if you like. Okay, so avoir expressions. Let's talk about that. Let's review just a little bit. So the first thing is you absolutely have to know how to conjugate the verb avoir in the present tense. There's no way around it. You just have to memorize. So spend a little bit of time trying to memorize, and you'll get it as you practice more if you're having trouble with it. So just keep working with it. The next thing is to be aware of what we call avoir expressions. There are certain expressions that use other verbs in English. Mostly, if you look at the list here, mostly you'll see to be. A lot of expressions in English that use to be, like to be hot, to be cold, to be lucky, to be hungry, to be thirsty, to be afraid, to be right. Instead of using the verb to be in French, they actually use the verb avoir. For example, to be lucky, instead of using the verb to be in French, you have some luck. Avoir de la chance. You have luck. You just have to make that jump if you interpret or translate. You just know that to be lucky is not literally expressed the same way in French as it is in English. It's used with avoir in French. To be hungry in English, instead of to be, we use to have. So to have hunger. Same thing with thirsty. It's to have thirst. To be afraid is to have fear, avoir peur. So once you accept that, then these expressions are really no problem. Notice that some of them have another verb. For example, to need, that's an avoir expression. In French, you literally say to have need of something. And you can put any noun there. Avoir un is to be so many years old. So in French, you use to have years instead of to be a number of years old. Okay, so once you understand that, then you can start working with these expressions. For example, if you want to say I am hot, you have to remember, okay, to be hot is to have literally heat, avoir chaud. And you have to say literally, word for word, I have heat, okay? J'ai chaud. But you have to know in your mind, okay, well, in English, this means I am hot, okay? She is hot, elle a chaud. They are hot, ils ont chaud. And once you can do that, then you've got it. If I want to say I'm hungry, then you have to literally say I have hunger, j'ai faim, j'ai faim. I am thirsty, I have thirst, j'ai soif. Okay, so I think you get the idea here. So let's go ahead and practice. And for this one, we're going to go from the English to the French so that you can be aware of the shift in verbs from one language to the other. So I am 20 years old. Remember, that is avoir un, A-N-S. Remember, I-N-S, avoir. So you have to literally say I have, and then 20, and then the is years. And then the word for old is just understood or implied in the expression. So how do you say I am 20 years old? Comment dit-on ça en français? J'ai 20 ans. J'ai 20 ans. J'ai 20 ans. Notice the pronunciation here, en. The N is nasalized and you don't pronounce the S, so en. J'ai 20 ans. J'ai 20 ans. There's a liaison here, 20 ans. Normally you don't pronounce the T, it's just 20, 20, 20, but 20 ans. J'ai 20 ans. I am hungry. Remember, I have hunger. Comment dit-on ça? J'ai faim. J'ai faim. J'ai faim. He is lucky. He is lucky. Remember, just a little hint. Avoir de la chance. Avoir de la chance. So he has luck. Il a de la chance. Il a de la chance. And remember, When you interpret or translate this back to English, it's he is lucky. Il a de la chance. He is lucky. Il a de la chance. A question. Are you thirsty? How do you ask the question, are you thirsty? I didn't specify the you. Remember, there are the different yous in French, the formal and the informal. Okay, so we have a lot of possibilities. So remember, to be thirsty is to have thirst, avoir soif. So there's the ultra formal question, avez-vous soif? Which you probably won't hear. You're more likely to hear, vous avez soif? Vous avez soif? Do you have thirst, literally? Are you thirsty? Remember, you can also do questions with est-ce que vous avez soif? Est-ce que vous avez soif? Are you thirsty? The informal, as-tu soif? Which, ironically, this is a more formal way of saying it and less used. So you'll probably hear more likely, tu as soif? Tu as soif? And then with the est-ce que, remember, just add an est-ce que onto the normal word order to make a statement a question. So we have est-ce que tu as soif? Est-ce que tu as soif? So all that to mean, are you thirsty? Just depending on the situation. So basically, vous avez soif or tu as soif. Vous avez soif, tu as soif. Or if you like the est-ce que vous avez soif? Est-ce que tu as soif? I am thirsty. Remember, literally, you have to say, I have thirst. J'ai soif. J'ai soif. Oops, sorry. I am thirsty. J'ai soif. I am thirsty. J'ai soif. I am thirsty. J'ai soif. They are hot. Now remember, this is not hot to trot. This is they feel hot. And to feel hot, or to be hot in the sense of feel hot, that's avoir chaud. Avoir chaud. Ils ont chaud. Ils ont chaud. Now I didn't specify the they, so this could also be the elle. So let me put it in here for you. We could also say ils ont chaud. Either one. They are hot. Ils ont chaud. Ils ont chaud. Literally, they have heat or warmth. Ils ont chaud. They are hot. He is cold. Remember, not a cold personality, but to feel cold. He feels cold. Il a froid. Il a froid. 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 Note the pronunciation. They don't pronounce the D. Froid. Il a froid. Il a froid. He is cold. Il a froid. He is cold. Il a froid. We are hungry. Comment dit-on ça? We are hungry. Nous avons faim. Nous avons faim. Nous avons faim. Nous avons faim. Work on your pronunciation. Nous avons faim. Nous avons faim. I feel like going to the movies. Okay, so remember, I feel like is avoir envie, to have. Envie is like a feeling of desire. So j'ai avoir envie, envie. And then we need the de or the D apostrophe and then an infinitive. So going to the movies, to go to the movies is the infinitive you're looking for, which is aller au cinéma. Aller au cinéma. And then you put it on all together. J'ai envie d'aller. Now this is the D apostrophe because a vowel sound follows in the infinitive aller. So the DE becomes the D apostrophe. So j'ai envie d'aller au cinéma. J'ai envie d'aller au cinéma. I feel like going to the movies. Literally, I have the desire or feeling of going to the movies or to go to the movies. J'ai envie d'aller au cinéma. I feel like going to the movies. J'ai envie d'aller au cinéma. He is scared. Remember to be scared. Avoir peur. Il a peur. Il a peur. He is scared. Il a peur. Il a peur. You are right. Remember to be right is avoir raison. Learn to have reason. Avoir raison. I didn't specify the you, so we could have vous avez raison. Raison. Vous avez raison. Tu as raison. Tu as raison. You are right. He is wrong. Avoir tort. Remember the expression avoir tort? Il a tort. Il a tort. Il a tort. He is wrong. Il a tort. He is wrong. Il a tort. I am sleepy. Avoir sommeil. J'ai sommeil. J'ai sommeil. J'ai sommeil. Remember, you absolutely have to memorize avoir to be able to work with this. It's very important. It's one of the most commonly used verbs in the French language, so it's really worth the investment to just memorize. And then the other thing that you have to do is be sure that you memorize some of these most common avoir expressions. Once you do that, then your ability to express yourself really grows by leaps and bounds. So be sure you memorize all these expressions. And using this chart, for example, there's all kinds of things you can say. If you choose different subjects, for example, just with, let's say, to be scared or to be afraid here. Avoir peur, I can say j'ai peur, I'm afraid, or I'm scared. You are scared, tu as peur, vous avez peur. He's scared, il a peur. She's scared, elle a peur. We are scared, nous avons peur, or you can use the on a also, on a peur, and so forth and so on. So there's so much that you can say once you're able to use these avoir expressions and you know how to conjugate avoir and you've memorized these expressions. Okay, well, that's it. Just keep practicing and keep up the great work. I appreciate your hard work. I know that you're really progressing in class. So, c'est tout. Au revoir. I'll see you in the next video. À la prochaine fois.